Hello, everyone. I'm Ron Presley, editor of Catfish Now. I have Tyler Richards here with me in the studio tonight and his son, Reid. And I just want to start off by saying Reid was actually our cover boy on Catfish Now just last December. So if you haven't had a chance to take a good look at that cover, be sure and look it up because you're going to love it. And Reid, we really are proud of you for being on there. Welcome, Tyler, to our Catfish Now Tip of the Month segment. And tell me, how did Tyler respond to seeing himself on that cover?
Well, hi everybody. Thanks for having me, Ron, and everybody from Catfish Now. Reid, it was unbelievable. This kid was ecstatic. When I told him, and he's going to be turning 3 years old in January. So
How old?
just 3 years old.
3 years old.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be a cat man.
Oh yeah, for sure. He loves fishing no matter what it is. But when it comes to catfishing, that's what it is. That's what I grew up doing. I like fishing for just about anything too. But yeah, he loves everything. But catfishing is where it's at.
Well, but he's gonna have a good teacher too, I think.
Oh yeah. But when we told him that he was going to be on a magazine, he wasn't quite sure what. And then when we showed him, he was just happy as can be. We actually already have a big canvas that we're going to have made that's going to be hanging in his room.
Oh, so cool.
Here, pretty soon, hopefully we get it in the mail pretty soon.
All right. Well, let's get down to business and what we come here for tonight. February, it's going to be cold. Have you got a good February catfish tip for us?
Yeah, I do. I live up here in the northern Illinois, actually, and a lot of people actually put their boats and stuff away this time of year because everything starts to freeze, and some of the guys start hitting the ice and whatnot, ice fishing. But I tried to tell guys, man, you're missing some of the best time to catch some catfish, especially up here. It's just channel cats, but it's some of the best fishing you can do. And luckily for me, the river here, the lower end of the river, it don't freeze very often. There's some years it can get really cold, it can freeze, but if we can keep the boat ramps open, we're going until we can't anymore. So my tip would be, don't put that boat away because you're going to miss out on some fun.
That's a good one. February can be a good month.
But so if this time of year your catfish and stuff, they're kind of slipping back down towards their wintering holes and stuff. So get out and find them wintering holes, find where those fish are at. Now they're not going to be as aggressive in this time of year and whatnot. So my tip would be is downsizing your bait size and your tackle and your rods, everything. You want to go, I like to use, around a light to a medium action rod. I'll take, usually I'm using like a 60-pound braid throughout the, year when it's warmer months and stuff. And then I use a mono leader, like 30-pound mono leader. Well, I take all that off and I put different reels on with probably like a 20-pound braid and then a smaller leader size line, because these fish their mouths get a little sore this time of year, or tender, I should say. They're not real aggressive and whatnot. So you don't want something real heavy. Plus, you don't want a lot of weight or drag for them to feel or whatever. So you want a light tackle, and light rods and whatnot. And then so you find them holes and stuff, and you get down there and find these fish. And a lot of times, throughout the year, using real big baits. Well, I like to just cut just a little piece of bait off, and fresh bait's the best. I actually tried to throw some shad. We have shad up in this area, and throw them in the freezer as fresh as I can get, because sometimes, like I said, this time of year, it's a little cold and a lot of your bait areas lock up, so you don't have much bait to go catch. So I try to keep some in the freezer, but I go from using bigger pieces to real small pieces, and it seems to work the best. And if it's fresh, it's a lot better because there's the scent. Yep. But you get down there in those wintering holes and stuff, and like I said, use that lighter tackle. And I got a couple rigs here. I like to rig it just like a Carolina rig, either a no roll or an egg sinker. And then I just like to use a real light wire hook. You can use a J hook, or I like to use these hooks. They're from Team Catfish, but there's many others out there. I actually this time of year use a 1/0. You can go a little higher. I don't like using anything more than a 5/0. And then when you get down there and find these fish and you get your rods thrown out and you get bites, don't be hesitant or don't like jump the gun or whatever and want to set the hook real hard or whatnot, because you're gonna miss fish or you're gonna lose fish when you hook them real lightly or whatever, and you're gonna get frustrated. So you really just want to, when they start taking it, I like to pick my rod up even with the circle hook, and I like to just do a real nice easy sweeping motion, not real hard, just enough to kind of get that tension, and it'll get the hook. And if you do that, you're gonna hook quite a few fish. And that's really about it. I mean, just the light tackle is the biggest thing, and like I said, the smaller baits and fresh bait, but the light tackle is the main thing, because you're using that heavy tackle and heavy line and stuff, and especially this time of the year, that hevier line, I've noticed if you don't, it'll curl up because it's real cold.
Yes.
Not to mention, this, if you're fishing in below freezing weather, that's a lot more surface area for ice to build up when you're reeling in. So the smaller diameter line and whatnot on your rods will help from ice buildup too. That's about it. That's all I got.
All right. Yeah, those are great tips. Just because it's February, don't put up the boat. Keep going out there and catch some more fish.
Absolutely.
So there you go, folks. That's your Catfish Now tip of the month. Everybody fish with passion.